All right, I see a red light. Does everyone see a red light? There we go.
Yay.
Red light. Oh,
Ironically, red means go.
in this capacity, it probably does. So, all right, before before we get started in our, and letting people wander into the fourth wall, let's just go ahead and do a. There we go.
And real quick, as a nice warm up, here is your random thought of the day. While you sip, one of the few games that I will concede I would not mind a fan made, because obviously it's never going to be officially re released, but I would not mind a fan made HD remaster of is WWF No Mercy, because God knows that is still the best single player story mode thing in any wrestling game's ever been. But
Yeah.
the polygonal graphics trying to overlay real world photo scans of faces did not work.
Nope. Nope.
Like some of the sports games suffered from that, but sports games are sports games. You know, any given Madden, just grab the current one. But oh my God, yes, that whole branching path with the titles and the that survival mode, which for those of you who've never played this game, but no wrestling games, real quick, the survival mode, you had to do it to unlock a couple of the characters, but the idea of it is you eliminate by throwing people out, pinning them, or making them submit, but you have to go through 99 opponents in one go.
Oh,
There is no energy recharge.
right.
I've only done it with cheat codes. I never did it when I had the game as a legit cartridge. Because that is insane.
It really is. Hell.
But yes, that branching path for the titles, and then you had the contender modes and the challenger mode or the champion modes. There was just a lot of replayability in that.
It really is.
And I would just get this lazy calendar mode and this, relive the career of this Hall of Famer with a bunch of matches at forced quick time events. Ugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my rando thought of the day. I was thinking about No Mercy past couple days as I was pondering N64 games that, still have an audience on the internet and a fandom. I'm like, God, yeah, people like still consider No Mercy. You still hear that every time a new WWE comes out is, oh God, I hope they make it more like No Mercy.
And they won't for some reason.
No, mostly because Ukes isn't touching them and they haven't touched it for years. But
No, yeah, Ukes isn't touching a lot of things lately, except, maybe New Japan once in a while, but you get the idea.
yeah, that was the dumbest thing WWE ever did, was take that license away from Ukes. Their games have not been as good since. But speaking of Japanese companies, as we said last episode, we're going to discuss the various mangas or the various genres of manga, because it's not all just Naruto and Dragon Ball Z.
as much as people think it is.
Yes,
those are in a category.
Yes, that's the thing is, now to be fair, a couple others have made TV that are not.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to organize this by the age demographic breakdown, and then kind of as we bounce through that, we'll discuss the various literary genres.
Yeah.
And then we may do a wrap up if we skip a few, mainstay ones, but because that's the way the manga industry organizes itself. What age range are you trying to shoot at? Okay, Well, if you're shooting at this age range, that limits you for literary genres.
Pretty
So,
much.
because I'm sorry, you're not going to get a lot of yaoi and yuri content in your 10 years and under crowd.
No, nor should you.
Because that's a little awkward, even for Japan.
And for those that might get confused, Crayon Shin-chan is not a Kodomo and it's not a shonen. Those books are actually considered seinen.
Which is why it aired on late night Adult Swim back in the day. It was,
Before we get too in the weeds, though, let's go ahead and break it down for everyone. Kodomo is children, straight
yes,
children's books.
as I said, 10 years and under.
Although
4
it's
years.
an all ages type thing, that can be an all ages, but 10 years and under is basically what they're going for.
Your iconic character from this is going to be Hello Kitty,
Yeah,
to a slightly lesser extent, Doraemon,
and Caro.
Kato Kato, yes. But yes, this
And in a way, Hamtaro.
yeah. I don't see. That's the thing is, I never personally watched Hamtaro, so I don't think of it instinctively. I have to stop and
Yeah,
go through
but
that. But
that's one of those that's an all ages type deal, but it at its core, it's a Kodomo. It's
yeah,
hamsters.
but see, that's like in America, the cartoons that the little kids can watch, the best ones you can enjoy when you're older than that.
That's why Bugs Bunny, the Merry Melodies, and all those cartoons are still enjoyable today.
Well, be fair, those technically were not originally meant for children to watch, which
Oh
is why
no,
even at
no,
the
no.
time um, they were filled with like what then was considered modern pop culture jokes, like you would see the Hollywood actor stand-ins. It's like, hey, your little 10-year-old's not going to recognize,
Bing Crosby or
yeah.
James Cagney or your Jimmy
And
Stewart.
who was the guy? Because I've seen references to him in a couple of the Merry Melodies. It was like the old man Lush.
Jimmy Durante.
No, it's
No,
like comedic.
I'd have to look. I'd have to
Real like
watch.
usually I had the cigar. It's like, real sweetheart. No,
Oh
can't do the voice,
God!
but you know what I'm talking about. It's like it was all black. He was from the black and white days.
Not to mention, not to mention the voice she did sounded like Bogey, but hey,
I know that's why I caught myself. I was like, no, that's a little too bogey.
a little too bug. But anyhow,
But yeah, but that's
later on in the 60s, 70s, it became more steered to children.
oh yeah, I would say like its follow up Tiny Toon Adventures. That was basically blatantly
Oh, that was blatantly for children, but yeah.
Tiny Toons and the Tiny Toons Animaniacs duo. Blatantly, yes, that would be
Uh,
your
although although
equivalent.
Animaniacs did have some adult jokes in there, they slipped in.
But again, that was for hey the older children that have to sit there and watch this with their younger siblings. Okay, we're gonna sneak in the Hello Nurse joke for you.
And the teen boys and girls got that joke, and if their dad stuck at home, he was like, "Yep, hello, nurse, indeed." Dad, what
Or
does
the
that
the
mean?
the, the
Absolutely nothing.
infamous the infamous fingerprints joke.
Yes, yes,
Look for
yes.
prints. She pulls out the singer prints. No. Fingerprints. Oh, I don't think so.
Prince, you just see him with a sly smile, and it's like, which,
Purple Rain.
yes. And for anyone asking, yes, the singer Prince saw the joke and chuckled at the joke because he knew humor like that.
I
He
mean,
was
he
good at
knew
it.
his public perception. He created it very specifically. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Someone asked about the Animaniacs joke, and he was like, "That's comedy."
but yeah, a
He's like,
lot of
"That's
the Kodomo, you get adaptations of Western stories.
yeah."
Um,
Oh yeah.
like
Now,
your stuff
Yeah.
inspired by the American cartoons. Get your
Yeah.
adaptations of the Japanese fairy tales. Um,
Pretty much. And now I got one for you. I got one for you.
okay.
Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball, wherever the fuck that last one was.
Well, the last one was Super, and
No,
then of
no, no,
course
no.
you
Oh,
have.
GT.
Well, yeah. GT was the last one of the classic
Yeah, the
trilogy.
class. That's the one I'm
One
on.
that just concluded like a year or so ago was Dragon Ball Super. That was
Redub of
the
Z, basically.
well
Wasn't it?
that was Super was intended to be a Toriyama led replacement for GT because Toriyama was never involved in the
In
Super
GT.
GT.
Yeah, he wasn't. He was
And
burnt
that's one
out.
of those things that always divided me because I'm like, I never had a problem with GT.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it wasn't based off something Toriyama wrote,
Yeah.
and the hardcore fanboys thought that was an approach, but it's like, dude, he didn't want to write any more stuff to inspire them. He wanted to walk away from Dragon Ball for a while. You
Yeah.
know,
Which another funny
that's it's
funny
like,
note.
what are you gonna do at that point as the people still making money off Dragon Ball and looking at the fans that say we want more Dragon Ball anime?
And the funny part is, by the way, you notice Toriyama's actually made his money off of things involving dragons.
Oh yeah.
You know.
But anyway, but yeah, the original Dragon Ball, the first story arc that was an adaptation of Journey to the West,
Oh yeah.
which is one of the like what five most famous stories in the
Eastern
Eastern.
stories.
Yeah.
Which by the way, so anyone listening, fourth walling can ask, yes, David and I both have that book. We are that big of nerds.
Nah, I'll admit I only have a digital copy
I mean, I do too, but it's still,
because it's really awkward to find unabridged,
it really is.
accurate English translated.
All right, but before you interrupted me there, and I'll throw this 7-Up can at you. Dragon Ball, Bleach, One Piece, Inuyasha, Naruto, Boruto, Yu Yu Hakusho, Yu-Gi-Oh, Fairy Tail.
My buddy Shaman King.
Yeah, well, except for Shaman King, they were involved in a little magazine called, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it, Shonen Jump.
No, Shaman King was in Shonen Jump.
Yeah, it was. It was. I
The
forgot.
original Shaman King was. The follow ups he did, the little follow up
Yeah,
minis were done in,
elsewhere.
yeah, elsewhere. But no,
Because,
yeah, the original
yeah,
was a Shonen Jump.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yes, our next genre is the shonen genre, hence the name of that magazine.
Shonen Jump. There are other shonens outside the Shonen Jump universe, but you know.
Yeah, they have some spin-offs and they have competings, but Shonen Jump is like the A-list most popular magazine for this genre. For reference, this would be your teen
Teenagers to
males.
teen males, anywhere from middle schoolers to high schoolers.
Right. Um, so this is going to be primarily your literary genres within this are going to be your
Your action
um,
adventure, probably a little bit of your horror.
action adventure, a little bit of supernatural horror stuff,
A
your
lot of
your
comedy,
your gross gag comics.
a lot of your fantasy as well.
Yeah, your
So,
fantasy. Well, yeah, because fantasy usually breaks down to fighting. Although there is some fantasies in the
yeah,
shojo side too, which we'll touch on in a bit.
we
Things,
will, but let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Also, you got your adventures, your thrillers. You might
yeah,
have a little drama, but you also have the one format that is constantly argued about by everyone, including the fact that David and I have to online turn the hose on Nerd Wonder and remind her that Isekai is not what she thinks it is.
Yeah.
Isekai is a different world. Slice of life is what she's arguing about.
Yeah. Now, I do enjoy slice of life manga, but those can bounce around your age genres depending on, whose slice of life they're showing.
Pretty much, but no.
Unfortunately, the collection has various slice of lives. Some Azumanga.
But no, Isekai is the one that's debated, and people are like, huh. But yeah, Isekai is just basically different world.
Yeah.
Like the biggest example is the anime edition they did of John Carter. That would fit as an Isekai because where is he? Mars.
What about because this is one Kelly and I have been discussing and wanting to start the anime of.
Why is she pointing the frying pan at me? Am I supposed to agree with her?
No, she's pointing the frying pan at you on general principle. Escaflowne. Because you do have a regular high school girl that gets transported to a fantasy world.
That does have elements of isekai. I will say that, and
Yes.
also there's a bit of other genres in Escaflowne,
That's what I'm saying. Escaflowne is one of those blender mangas and animes because there's a little bit of action, there's some
which
romance, there's a little bit of genre, there's the world jumping. It's one of those very well blended
yeah,
ones.
which and officially the title is Tenku no Escaflowne, which means Escaflowne of the heavens, is its
Yeah, the
official
official
title.
the official English translation is Vision of Escaflowne, but
Yeah,
90% of the people on the internet are just going to call it Escaflowne.
it's easier.
Yeah.
But, yeah,
Whew.
an alternate Earth called Gaia.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is probably at its core an isekai.
But yeah, shonen, the shonen genre or the shonen demographic, it is going to be the vast majority of what you will find in any rando bookstore
Yeah, in
here in
America.
America. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, just because that's the age
Yeah.
group and gender that classically dives the hardest into manga, and it's understandable because most shonen manga is very much equivalent to American superhero comic books.
Pretty much without the
In
bloat and
teenage,
the
no, I mean there's some cultural differences, but at its core,
eh,
let's be honest, Goku, Naruto, Luffy,
eh,
they are superheroes.
and also you're definitely gonna have the humorous plot. You're gonna have the male characters. You got themes of friendship. There's also fighting teams because
Yeah, that's one of the tropes of shonen, especially the
a
shonen
sentai
jumps.
is your
Is
sentais, which sentais are teams basically.
Yeah,
It's the
well,
military.
specifically that the main character is super powerful in a fight, but
He needs help.
not very good at common sense every day taking care of himself,
Hence the
which is
humorous
where the
plot.
friends come in to support them.
Because let's face it, Goku does not know his way around the kitchen. And if it weren't
Around a
for Chi Chi,
kitchen in the beginning of Dragon Ball, did not know what a car was, had never seen a city.
well, that's because he
He
lived in the
was
mountains with son Gohan.
Yeah, he was raised by his grandfather and had not seen any other human until the present day events of Dragon Ball. He spent like the first 11, 12 years of his life. The only human he had ever seen was his adopted. Well, we say grandfather. Technically, it would be foster father legally, but he
But
was an old man, so he was grandpa.
yeah, and
Um,
the only
and that
other
is that is one of those things that, real quick, I do like about Shaman King, especially as somebody that had read several other shonen series.
oh yeah, Yo's a
Yo,
pretty
Yo is perfectly capable of taking care of himself, but he enjoys having the friendships of others, and they inspired him heroically. He's not quite as naive or stupid as your Goku, Luffy, Naruto's are, but
but even then
he was not, as was pointed out in like the in the second major story arc. No, yeah, second major after the intro short story chapters is
Yeah.
he has no self motivation to him. Like he
Nope.
was never going to be heroic without his best buddy and his arranged marriage fiance there propping him up and reminding him of what's got to be done for him to have the life he wants to have. So,
But
but generally, but yeah, there's always going to be a team atmosphere, secondary heroic characters. You're just not going to see a lot of standalones in shonen
no.
because, again, the Japanese culture, it's not about the individual.
Yeah, and also attractive female characters because we see you One Piece, Nami in a bikini top.
Again, that's one of those things that drives me nuts about One Piece.
Eh.
Before the time jump, God, hold on, I got to get my character names right. God, not Nami. Who was the other female crew? The one that started out evil. The archaeologist, Robin, Nico Robin. Nico had much more of the bombshell figure. Nami was cute, hot. She was the girl next door, hot. And then the time jump, and he started drawing all the women like supermodels, and that's one of the reasons I had to walk away from manga because every woman looked alike except for the hair. Sorry, a little bit of side rant there.
But she did kind of grow into herself though.
Oh
Later.
yeah, yeah. But I'm just saying, yeah. Um,
As if you
yeah, and
remember too,
that's like the icon Dragon Ball there. Bulma was never drop dead gorgeous. She was good looking in her own quiet way. But then again, she wasn't the one the main character ended up with.
that happened to be Chi Chi.
Which again is another, if the shonen runs long enough for the main character to romantically hook up with somebody, because again, Anna's the same way as Chi Chi. The female love is usually very strong in personality. To make up for the fact that the main male lead is usually a, hey, I just like fighting and defending my friends. It's like, well, somebody's got to sit there and keep you grounded in reality. So I'm going to swing the frying pan at you.
More or less. And in a way, too.
Which is a good balance. I mean, from a writing perspective.
And in a good way, too. Nami might have turned sex kitten, but she's actually loyal to one man, even if he is kind of oblivious.
Oh, yeah.
And kind of
Yeah.
one track minded.
I'll still always say Sanji's my favorite crew though.
Oh, yeah, Sanji is, but you will have to admit, she stays loyal to her man Luffy.
Hey, he is the captain. Everybody on that crew has had that moment where they could have walked away, gotten everything they wanted in life from somebody else, and just said, "Hey, no, he's my captain."
Yeah.
Like I voluntarily said I would follow my captain until the end of our adventure. I can't walk away from that. There's still a strong reason I do that.
And in a way, she loves the lug.
Oh,
Somehow.
she does. Again, I have not followed the manga for the last few major arcs, but I hope it's more of a sibling thing. That's how I saw them that's how I always saw them as the sibling.
I mean, even if it isn't,
Mostly because I feel so bad for Boa Hancock. As hard as she crushes on Luffy, she needs to get something from that boy.
I mean,
even if it's not forever after.
But no, as far as like Nami in a relationship with Luffy, it'd be all. I think it wouldn't be creepy. It wouldn't be the overtly fawning over him. she'd have to, okay, but be like Chi Chi.
Yeah, just the
I'm going to borrow one of these frying pans from the chef, and you're getting hit with it.
oh yeah, because that's been her role since she joined the crew as the voice of reason.
You're like, Monkey D. Luffy, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah,
And he
but
never has an
let
answer.
us jump to the teenage female genre, which would be shojo.
Fish Shonen Senshi.
Yes, the name basically means young woman.
Yes, or girl.
You get your historical dramas, your sci-fi, usually sci-fi leading more towards romance.
And if you're
Again,
wondering what
some of your slice of lives.
the clacking is, Muhammad let us have the computer to look up stuff because my tablet is at the Apple Genius store. Not so genius of me, is it? Anyhow,
Yep.
the most famous shojo that all of you should know. I just said it. Bishojo Senshi Seramun.
Woo.
The pretty soldier Sailor Moon. Or the pretty
Yep.
guardian, whichever one. But yes, be a
Depending on
shoujo,
your
pretty.
translation and
Yeah.
which reboot.
Be a shoujo, pretty. Senshi, soldier or guardian. And then Sailor Moon, which is Sailor Moon. Come on, it's not that hard. I probably confused everyone else, but here we go.
Um,
that is the biggest,
oh yeah,
shoujo
and
ever. The current, do I want to say queen of the current queens, so to speak, is Kodansha.
yep. Currently Kodansha, although for
And
a
then
long
Shogakukan is the second.
um now as far as writing groups, Clamp has had some good ones.
Oh yeah, Clamp's had some great ones.
Because Clamp, you get Chobits, which is your sci-fi romance there,
Uh-huh.
which is on. I've seen it a couple times through, but I've got Kelly wanting to see that one too. We're gonna sit down and watch that together later. But classically, until she started bouncing around doing a little bit of everything because she is that damn good.
Oh yeah.
Shoujo was originally ladied over by Rumiko Takahashi.
Yep.
She started bouncing into Seinen, a little bit of Josei, some Shonen with Inuyasha.
Yeah.
And on the one half, but her earliest ones were shojo.
Yeah. Now we have to go ahead and smack some of the folks in the West. Love Hina is not a shoujo. That is actually a shonen. That's
Yes,
meant for the teen boys.
It is a romantic comedy. Now I'm very big on Love Hina, but yeah, it's more shonen with a little bit of etchy humor to it.
Yeah, and then
it kind of like rides right there at the line of shonen. Yeah. I mean, I could see some people wanting to debate. Yeah. It's like it rides that line between shonen and shoujo, depending on the story arcs. But
and on top of that, oh my goddess is a seinen. We'll get to that later.
Oh my goddess, and it's
Onegai teacher is also a seinen.
Yes, because that's got a little more wish fulfillment, especially. But yeah, goddess, and it's related. You're under arrest, which is from the same author.
And cutie honey, shonen.
Yeah, cutie honey's blatantly shonen because that's got the combat base to it.
So what's shoujo? Rumiko Takahashi.
Now it should be noted. Oh my goddess, while considered seinen, was serialized in Kodansha.
Uh-huh.
Because they do have a seinen magazine as well.
Yes, they do.
As a publisher, they covered everybody. But yeah, Kodansha's most biggest name ones are shoujo traditionally.
Oh, and Viz Media did get themselves in a little bit of trouble when they attempted a reappropriation of shoujo. They're trying to say it was manga appealing to both male and female readers. You know, true to life characters, thrill of exotic locales, heart and mind through human relationships. Japanese publishers are like, ah, like, stay in your lane, American.
Also, real quick, I mean, obviously, we're gonna, as I said, well, technically, these are more sign-ins since we've already name dropped them. The creator of Goddess in Your Under Arrest, Kosuke Fujishima.
Yeah.
Those of you in the West may know him because he is lead character designer on most of the games in the Tales of video game series,
Oh, yeah.
as well as
K.
Sakura Wars, which has bounced in here in America briefly.
Yeah. But anyhow, you did talk about it though, Takahashi.
Yeah, her
Miss,
earliest stuff was shojo. Then she started bouncing in with shonen and seinen.
oh yeah, because she started with stuff like Mice and Ikoku.
Well, Meisani Koku is considered seinen,
it kind of is, but she did.
but a lot of her shorts, her Rumic Theater
shorts,
stuff is shojo. I'm not sure. What about Urusei Yatsura?
I'd have to look at it. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But no, you're all right. My son is signing, but it does have the elements of her shoujo past. But no, she's written. Basically, it's kind of like this: your Sweet Valley High stuff and your Melrose Place stuff that's written in that format is probably going to be shoujo.
Yeah.
Hey, Japanese girls got to have their sugar as well.
Oh yeah, but yeah, basic. Any of your magical girls, magical girl genres are usually going to be shojo.
Your Sailor Scout girls, stuff like that.
Well, as I said, some of your clamps like was it Cardcaptor Sakura?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's some combat in it, but
and Urusei is a shonen.
Okay, Urusei, yeah, okay, yeah. But see, that's the thing is I've not dived deep into Urusei, so I wasn't sure if that was shonen or shoujo. I know it wasn't seinen because it was more gag heavy than like Mason, which is a lot more about character development and growth, which is where your seinen Josei or Cat Factory, which we'll touch on in a minute. But yeah, Card Captor Sakura. Yeah, what else did Clamp do? Hold on, real quick. As I said, they did Chobits.
Yeah.
Let's see, here was their list
of work. Basically, all of your stuff in from Kodansha, which is Nakayoshi, the Aria, Besatu Friend, Desert, and the Desert, the Desert and the Desert kind of merged.
No, Tsubasa was more shonen because that had more action to it.
But yeah.
Yeah, because it was in Weekly Shonen Magazine.
UFO Baby, which ran for a while, Ghost Hunt, Cardcaptor Sakura, Magic Knight Ray Earth,
Angelic Layer.
Yeah,
no, that's Shonen, Monthly Shonen Ace.
But no, Zodiac PI, Tokyo Mew Mew, Ultra Cute.
Oh God, yes, Tokyo Mew Mew.
Bacteria at Work, Star Twinkie Precure, stuff like that. Go Princess Precure.
Yeah.
The Precure series, definitely. Cherry Juice, most definitely. Hell Girl, yes. Shugo Chara-chan, yes. Arisen, the new Hell Girl series. So yeah, there's a whole lot of the current stuff that's going on is Oko's In and Cardcaptor Sakura, Clear Card.
Yeah, Cardcaptor Sakura is kind of like Dragon Ball, where it's had a few start stops and sequel series as.
And then you got the Basatu.
Well, no, not Yeah, because they've done like some remakes of it.
And then you got Senpai to Kanojo, which is a romance series. So yeah, Papillon, Girl Got Game, stuff like that. Then you got Hanakun to Kosuru Watashi, which romantic stuff. So yeah, that stuff is based. Yes, it's junk food, we know. But the girls like it and they buy the books.
Which, is what it's all about. Something for everybody.
Exactly. So, and yes, women also read the shojo stuff, and the guys read the shonen stuff. Cause you can just get it, read it. Time killer.
Oh, yeah. But
So,
let us move on to our more adult demographics,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is your seinen, which
yes,
is your college through 20s, mid 30s or so.
hell, you probably
Basically,
read.
basically your young adults.
Yeah, and also you probably just end up reading them all the way up to you're an old man just for the giggles.
Oh yeah.
You're not immature. You're just like I'm bored.
Real quick, super jump down, and then we'll bust into some of the specifics. Some of your very well known in America series of seinen include Berserk, Excel Saga,
Uh huh.
Ghost in the Shell, which we're
Uh,
both big fans of.
oh yeah.
The aforementioned Oh My Goddess,
Uh huh.
because it is very much about a guy who starts off in college and works his way through life.
Golden
Um,
boy, Onagai teacher,
uh, the
dreams
the
please
the, cur-
teacher.
the currently trendy One Punch Man.
One Punch Man.
Um,
My Hero
started
Academia
shonen
is
by
a
the time it
shonen, by the way.
yeah, started shonen by the time it was over. Kind of got a little too dark for the kiddies. Trigun.
Uh huh.
Ooh, what about speaking of dark? What about the infamous Death Note?
That is considered seinen.
Yeah, because that's some serious psychological stuff there.
It started shonen, ended up seinen because when they saw season two, especially with the prostitute that gets raped, and her rapist gets death noted, and they're like, "Yeah, it's a little dark, buddy."
Not to mention the
By the way, yes,
spoilers
yes,
here. Once L dies and Light really starts manipulating both sides.
oh yeah,
Yeah, that's not for little kids.
and yes, yes, feminists. There is,
Hellsing,
yes,
which is
feminists. There is a,
infamous.
yeah, yeah, yes, feminists. There is a scene where Light actually finds out that one of his prostitute friends was raped, and he gets the name of the guy that did it. Very gruesome death for the guy too.
Ooh, granted, the manga came afterwards,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
what about Cowboy Bebop? Because again, there's some very serious episodes there.
It is considered seinen. That's why it's shown late.
Yeah.
So I got
Um,
but the most famous seinen of all seinen that's still running today from its where it's going into its 50th year soon.
is this your personal buddy, Golga?
Yes, it is. He said he was going to retire in 2015. that didn't happen.
He kept up and went Super Cena.
Not to mention that well Saito just sold a hell of a lot. He started in the 50s, 1968's the official run. So 68 to yeah, he's going well past 50 years.
Ooh. We forgot about two others that are iconic.
Go ahead. What you got?
I mean, we'll let you circle back around in detail to Golga 13, but
But
as the wrap
let's
up.
yeah, but
But
yeah.
Lone Wolf and Cub
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
and Lupin the Third.
Uh-huh.
Monkey
About
Punch.
yeah. The
But there's
story
need a real quick breakdown of Lupin the Third. this is a series that has been going off and on with a few sabbaticals
Uh-huh.
since the, what was it, 67, so late
Yeah.
60s,
Oh yeah.
and is based off an old French story about a thief named Lupin.
Yep.
In the Japanese manga version, it is his grandson, hence the term Lupin the Third, and his gang of thieves, including his own femme fatale buddy, who he has a
Ooh.
will they, won't they in
Yeah.
Fujiko Mine, who has become so famous along with the rest of the Lupin crew in America that modern series has name dropped Fujiko Mine.
Yeah. I love Mine, but still.
Mine,
Anyhow,
thank you. Sorry, I've got the
there you go.
American ignorant accent here, but yes,
And we also
Fujiko
forgot.
Mine.
And also we forgot three more. We forgot three.
Oh, I know,
Outlaw.
but I saw those two and I had to get. I was like, "Ooh, I know Lupin. I
But
have
no,
watched some Lupin.
we all have. But also
Lupin is fun."
Outlaw
Oh my god,
Star.
did I ever show you the AMV focusing on the inspector
Yes, yes. Calm
with
down.
the overlaid with the Inspector Gadget opening theme song?
Yes, you did. Yes, you.
That is
I,
friggin' hilarious and so apropos.
all right. All right. Manic. Calm. I know you get excited about Fujiko and her Fuji cakes.
Well, not just her,
But
but
yeah.
again, that we've been rivals so long, we respect each other between Lupin and the detective.
Oh, pretty
There's
much.
especially some of the theatrical films.
Oh,
They
and
will team up to get rid of the greater criminal evil.
pretty much. And every one of them's a descendant of a famous criminal. Lupin is a descendant of Arsène Lupin. Goemon is a descendant of the great thief Goemon, and Daisuke Ishikawa, the great.
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
No. Hold on. I gotta double check that later.
which one?
The Great Thief Goemon.
Yeah.
I think
Goemon.
he's one. I think he's one of the historical characters in that Warriors Orochi game I've
He
got.
is.
That's a
He is.
crossover of Samurai and Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah. Goemon is the famous thief.
That
Son.
I knew that name in the back of my mind that kept
Yeah.
clicking. I was like, oh, he's in the Warriors meta franchise. Oh,
See,
I
we
gotta
edu-
I gotta do a rambling about that
Yeah, see, we educate and
about that
inform.
meta series.
Educate, entertain, and inform. Also, Outlaw Star, Tokyo Ghoul, which I actually do recommend. It's dark.
Yeah, I haven't I've seen clips of Tokyo Ghoul, but yeah, the
And the
aforementioned at the top of the show, Crown Shinchan.
Crayon Shinchan, and the one series that I wish everyone would stop talking about. Oh my god, I lose my shit every time I hear a reference to
AOT.
this fucking show. You know which show.
Oh yes, that one. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, I don't get into that one either. We're not even gonna name drop it.
No. And if any of you make a reference in email or in the comments,
You
it
will
will
be
not
iggied.
be very icky. No.
But
I
what about Attack on Titan?
Yeah, I dig Attack on
Is
Titan
that is that
actually.
seinen is that seinen or shonen?
I'll have to look that up honestly because it has elements of both.
That's what I'm saying. It
I
might
think
be one of
it's
those like Trigun that started one to go with
dark.
the audience.
It's still considered shonen, which it is going to end next month. Into April, it's going to end in
Well,
April.
allegedly.
I think Hajime's run out of steam. He really has.
Yeah, but I mean, he can always hand it off to assistants there, like
Yeah.
because the
Well,
the main buddy boy there for Yu-Gi-Oh, he only did the original timeline
Yeah, yeah.
series.
But yeah,
I don't think he's done any of the mangas, the later generation alternate reality sequels. I know Yu-Gi-Oh! R, which fit in between the original manga run, that was done by one of his
yeah.
direct assistants. Now he oversaw the scripting to make sure the continuity would allow it to slip in the middle well,
Oh yeah, oh yeah. But yeah,
um, but yeah,
uh,
I think he pretty much washed his hands of things like GX and V and Arcs and
well, yeah.
Zex. Oh God, I enjoy the original Yu-Gi-Oh manga very much, but they've got to just let that franchise die.
All
Like
right.
they keep coming up with new gen. I'm like, just walk away, man. You've said what needs to be said 3 times over.
But anyhow, the magazines in Japan you're going to look for are Weekly Young Magazine, Weekly Young Jump, Big Comic Original, Weekly Manga Garaku, which Weekly Young Magazine has a habit of putting the J-pop stars in next to nothing on their covers.
I mean, it's trying to attract young adult males. Let's be
and
honest.
and God bless them too.
I mean, we all know I might have a small crush on Aya Kaguchi. She might be a little dated as a reference, but
Eh, but yeah,
she's got some good cosplay photo sets there.
but you get the idea, folks. It's
Big comic spirits. Like that sounds like it should be a superhero magazine, like superhero book on its own.
it really should.
Big, big comic superior.
But yeah, look.
They just have such fun names.
So let's
Let's
not
polish this off, and then
let's not let the ladies feel out because ladies make up a significant portion equally of the Japanese sales of manga, the women's comics.
Josei,
Yes, Josei. I mean,
as opposed to Joshi, which is women's wrestling.
yeah, Josei, which is literally women. Uh, you got Libre Publishing, Shueisha, Kodansha, Shogakukan, Shodenansha, Hakusansha, Harper Collins Japan.
I was about to say, for those of you who want a couple English words in this podcast, yes, HarperCollins has a Japanese branch,
And they
which
make quite a lot of money.
uh, they also, amusingly, because this is one of the Harlequin or HarperCollins properties, they adapt various Harlequin novels to
Yeah.
manga format for the Japanese audience.
Which
The
they have two
infamous
branches.
Harlequin novels.
Which they have two branches, Besatu Harlequin and Zokan Harlequin.
Yes.
The Harlequin Originals, which is their original Japan stuff, and Ultimate Dulce, which is two words blended together, Spanish and Japanese. Well, no, sorry, not Japanese, Italian and Japanese.
Yeah.
Dulce is DOLCE is Italian, DULCE is Spanish. So, yes, there is a lot of Josei publishers. We've only just named,
Yes.
a third of them.
As far as stuff you may have heard of, that would be Josei. There is Paradise Kiss, Eden of the East, which is very infamous among anime circles here in America.
Yeah.
Usagi Drop.
Yep. But yeah, just let's go ahead and it's like
Agretsuko,
yeah.
also known by its full title of Aggressive Retsuko.
Which yes,
musical comedy anime web television series.
Pretty much. Now, as we'll tell everyone, Josei is not the highest selling, but they get at least 200,000 their top magazine. Shonen Jump gets 2 million, but there's the reason for that. Shonen Jump appeals to the main demographic they want to sell to, which is the 18 to 12 to 34. Sorry. They're going to appeal to 12 to 34, so you're going to get a lot of sales from fathers and sons. Seinen gets about 1 million. Shoujo gets about 1 million.
Yep.
So they're housewives. They're working career women.
Oh yeah.
Every once in a while, the ladies' comics, they just gotta sit back, rewind. You get the idea. Now it does have a reputation of the ladies' comics had a reputation of being lowbrow and kind of dirty, etchy, very
As we
etchy.
mentioned before, the infamous Harlequin.
But Josei was created to move away from that image around the early 90s. But you get the idea. They are relatively free of sexual content. It's more the romance because
Yeah, you might get a little
psychology.
bit of like what in America would be like primetime soap opera. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we see some intense making out and some pulling off of shirts, but then we pan away.
Where
It's like where we all know what's happening, but we're not going to show it. As opposed to the full-blown softcore porn, which is more of your yaoi yuri. Because let's face it, we were going to have to talk about this to avoid comment riots.
yeah.
Real quick, let's break it down. Yaoi is stories about men in love, either romantic or homoerotic, intended for women. Bara is stories about men in love, either romantic or homoerotic, intended for men. And
Yeah.
Yuri is stories about women in love, either romantic or homoerotic, intended for either men or women.
Yes.
Because, yes, women and men have different ideas about what they consider good reading when it comes to two men doing stuff romantical.
Of course, Yahweh gets a lot of a lot of flack because of the current trend of the Fujoshis, who just get completely obsessed. And if you wander over to Kiwi Farms, they affectionately refer to them as the Fujo shits.
That, and let's be honest, at least here on our particular shores, our culture's a little inherently homophobic still.
Yeah, not as much as it has
Used
been,
to
but yeah.
be, but we are still culturally fighting that battle on a subtle level of it's okay.
It's not as dramatic as the Screechers Online want to tell you it is. There are still some things to be worked on. We're not going to deny that. But as far as all those Screechers Online, oh my God, we're going to get killed for existing. No, you're not. Trust us, you're really not.
At least not at this diner.
Yeah.
Although
Now,
I'm sorry, that does.
Yeah.
Real quick sidebar, that does remind me of one of the all-time great Ron White jokes where he's talking about, all those little gay bashers in the physical and verbal sense. And yeah, they're pretty much a bunch of ineffectual twits you ain't got to worry about because, funny thing is, if you got a bar full of guys saying, if I ever meet a homosexual,
yeah, I remember that one.
I'm going to beat him to death. Yeah, most of those homosexuals have enough sense to stay out of that bar.
They just kind of walk out.
He's got a good point. Yeah, they're going to sit there and go, you know what? I think I'm going to go down the street.
Go down the street. I'm out.
Yep. And vice versa. Out. They are not likely to go try to play General Custer and storm a bar full of these men.
They go, hell no, we won't go. No, they're not.
Like, no, sweetie, you're on our property now. Quite literally. Trespassing laws.
Yeah. And also I have been in the gay bar or two, and actually had a pretty good time with it, to be honest with you.
I mean, it's like this. As long as they understand you're not there looking for a one night stand hookup,
Yeah.
and as long as you don't care when they start kissing on each other,
Which I really don't. It's like, do what you want, dude. Just, I'm not going to
don't
participate.
grab my butt.
Or if you do, at least do a good job at it.
If you do, at least buy me the drink to go along with it.
And,
Let's have a little respect. Buy me a
right.
drink first.
Hey, but yeah. Those categories, though, from what I've seen translated, Bara actually has some pretty good, for what it is, writing. Oh, there's going to be a lot of,
I mean, in any of those genres, no matter how erotic they're trying to lean, you can still have good writing.
because that's Japan's bread and butter. They want, it's like, yes, they're going to, in these next few pages, they're going to fuck each other's brains out, but it's at least make it entertaining.
Oh, wait, can I do the Penny Arcade reference?
Well, I know you've been itching to do it, so go ahead, do it.
From the commentary about a strip where they were joking about yaoi. Yaoi is about two men who love each other about as much as two men can possibly love each other. Or they hate each other, but fuck anyway.
Well,
Because the grudge fuck.
that's how it always works. So, yes, for those of you that were kind of confused about the categories, that's about as rambling and as direct as you can get. I think we got everyone around the bar laughing because, yeah, even down here in Georgia, gay or straight, everyone knows what the grudge fuck is.
Yep.
You've had a few.
I mean, I personally have not had a few.
Bullshit.
I'm going to admit there's been, I mean,
bullshit.
Hey, I have never personally had one. I will admit there's been a couple people that I have said in certain circumstances, yes, I would, but it's never actually happened.
All right, I'm not going to list this because your girlfriend's nearby. That's
Hey,
I'm not going to break the bro code on that one.
I'm a pervert, but I'm not a slut.
There we go.
All I'm going to say on this matter. I'm a pervert, but I'm not a slut. Also, I've run out of rum and coke, so yes, let's wrap this one up.
Oh boy.
Because the rum wasn't that strong, so no.
Holy shit. Yeah, we're about to have an emergency here. All right, so what do you want to hit?
Got it was more coke than rum in the ratio, and I've got a ride home.
There you go. You're a reasonable drunk at least. So
I'm just lightly buzzed.
There you go.
A job sucks sometimes.
So you really want to revisit Capcom?
The Capcom 5, because that maybe have been the moment where the company went from our best buddy to, yeah, we're only sleeping with you if we grudge fuck you.
Kind of like how they got Street Fighter 5 made.
Dude, between 4 and 5, I'm pretty sure everybody wants to grudge fuck the Street Fighter franchise. 4 was not received well either, if you recall.
No, it wasn't. I mean, yeah, it wasn't.
And then, of course, Street Fighter X Tekken. There's a reason we'll probably never see Tekken X Street Fighter.
Bandai Namco's
I think Namco's quietly shelved that one and going.
Yeah, and Bandai is kind of like, yeah, we can get out of this. Trust us. We had a merger. We can get out of this.
Yeah.
Just come over here, buddy.
We
completely forgot about it.
We may have to make one or two people at Capcom disappear, but don't worry, nobody's going to miss them.
All right. We do have a we do have a new
Yakuza one of these days.
Man, one of these years, either that or they'll just invite us over for a warm cup of sake. Anyhow, let's go through the revised schedule because we can. Mondays, this show Tuesdays, we're going to do some JTAPs and we're going to do some Stadia gaming.
Well,
Wednesdays.
mostly you, but
Yeah.
the channel in general.
And Wednesdays will be Dave's recaps from his games. We'll get that stuff together in categories and put it together. I'll get the art together as well.
Yeah, I could probably bust out a couple more game specific playlists.
Thursdays, we are working out something with Nebel Art. So we're going to do a 2 series, the band book series we've been working on, and also we're going to do some debriefs about games. Dave and I will, because some games you just got to explain even after the playthroughs. Every Suda51 game, you do need an explanation, don't you? And I mean the royal you.
Yeah, every Suda51 game, you definitely need some sort of no, it's okay guidebook there, because
This story is
they're
deep,
very enjoyable games, but they are
it's
not
deep,
for somebody that is not paying attention to all the dialogue.
right? Right. And Friday we got ramblings. Dave's got ramblings. It's different topics. And Saturdays will be my mobile minutes. I've got a pretty decent screen recorder. I've got Movavi Video Editor Plus 2021. I transfer it over and make some pretty decent mobile videos. Some of the games, I mean, I don't think very many people are doing mobile gaming, are they?
Not the big channels, not continuously.
No.
I mean, if you deep dive far enough, I'm sure there's a couple dedicated channels, but
And we're far from a big channel, but we're not bad.
no. Again, feel free to subscribe.
Yes.
Help us spread the word.
One of these
Eventually,
days.
one day we may find some sort of digital tip jar if you really love us.
Yeah, one of these years. Also, eventually, Dave and I will figure out what to do with Sunday, or if Sunday is just going to be our Sabbath day, and we just say, you know what,
Yeah.
we'll give you all a break. But now, say we've got Monday through Saturday pretty well stocked up now. So, and for anyone that asks, are we burning ourselves out? Far from it. It's just
No.
finding out what content we want to do. It's not the we're running out of it. It's the
Ultimately, we don't want to retread across the shows, and we don't want to just do the same pandering stuff that everybody's doing at the time.
right.
This is one of the reasons why, as I said, we are not going to rush to play the hot new games that came out that week, because nothing against any modern gaming, but there's channels that got you covered if that's what you want to see.
Yeah, there is and even the stuff I do on Stadia gaming. What?
I was about to say,
Watch Dogs.
I don't think you're doing anything on Stadia that has come out within the last 12 months, at least across all platforms.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm
It may
playing
have been
Watch
ported
Dogs.
to Stadia within
Yeah,
the past 12 months, but
but yeah, doing Watch Dogs, which pretty
Which,
interesting game.
yeah. Which, of course, as we were talking about beforehand,
And
let's not forget our favorite half genie.
oh yeah, I'm gonna do that. And and a little Luna gaming as well. As I told you, good old No More Heroes, another Suda, which we'll probably have to do that and do a debrief on that one because that's a deep lore.
Oh yeah,
But
but
that's our schedule as we know it. As we know it.
yes, cards are always subject to change, and of course, some of the shows, much like this one, may have occasional
Breaks.
breaks between seasons. But let us know, what is this particular show going to do next, my perpetual partner.
Let's go back to Capcom 5. Let's do it.
We're going to go ahead to Capcom 5. All right.
Yeah, let's do it because we talked about it enough. From when we did our last iteration of shows, we kind of slammed Capcom, but now we're a little bit older. And I don't know if we're a lot wiser, but kind of know, okay.
It's been a couple more years. We've got a little bit different perspective on the business side. You know,
Because we're in it. Not the video game business, but we on the management side of stuff now.
oh yeah. Plus, we are both old enough now. We've gotten out of that young adult
Edgy.
mindset of, well, the bigger corporation is always the evil one in a situation.
Not always. It's not always, and then we're out of that. I mean, I'm 40 this year, and you're not too far from 40. We're out of the
I'm
mentality
only
of
about a year and a half behind you.
exactly. So we're out of that mentality of every corporation. It's like you said, every corporation is evil. No, some corporations do stuff for a reason, but
Your CEO makes more than 50,000 a year. Evil. Nope, not quite, folks.
nah, because you don't want his job. No, you seriously don't want his job. So we're going to get into the ins and outs, the deal. You know what? Let's just outline it right here, Dave. We're going to get into how the deal was made with Nintendo and Nintendo of America. We're going to get into why the deal was made, why they ended up breaking the deal, how much it cost them in the end as far as face in the Japanese market. Because people don't realize it. How much face did they lose because they broke that contract with Nintendo?
It was not good PR for Capcom. We're going to go ahead and give you that preview.
Yeah.
Not too many spoilers, but yeah, it was not good PR for Capcom. Because I'm going to be honest, especially the back half of their existence currently, no, Nintendo hasn't always, made the most moral decisions, but,
No.
Sometimes, just because, the one side's not completely innocent doesn't mean you're completely innocent either. Sometimes the guilt's deep enough for both sides to get something smelly on their face.
Now we can say in this one, Iwata was pretty much innocent in a lot of this. We're going to say that much. Satoru Iwata, the former president, he was, he wasn't doing any skullduggery. But
not in this particular occasion.
No. And Capcom itself really wasn't either. But we're going to say that for the show. We got to get into the ins and outs, the business end, and the honor end of it too, because unlike America, how much does honor matter in Japan? And I'll let you elaborate on that one as we head out. Yes. If you have no honor amongst your fellow businessmen in Japan, fold up. Your business is done. I mean, is that fair to say?
Yep. As we said at the top of the show, Japan, not so much about the hero just out for their own glory. It's like this.
There's
Batman doesn't always play as well in Japan as he does in America.
No. So, that's our show. InTheWeedsBox@gmail.com. Subscribe on this channel. We are on Apple Podcasts. Hit it. Do it.
Oh, yes. And you can personally bother me on Twitter at David Horrinan.
Yeah. I'm on Minds at the Wandering Monk. You can find me there. I am one of their Minds Plus members. So if you get on there with exclusive stuff, I can probably do that later. But there you are. You can find us. We are there. We are everywhere.
As of right now, we do not Instagram.
Hell no. I am not insta-thoughting, and I'm not opening up an OnlyFans.
Oh, come on.
Be excellent to each other. Have a good night.
Already on, Wayne.
Already on, Garth.